Sup, my name's...
Introductory character.
This is my local watering hole. And like any cat that finds itself at a bar at 11 AM, have I got a story to tell. A story filled with small change, secondhand media, and true enlightenment. Well, as much enlightenment as a DVD can get you in this crazy world. So we have two children's movies with animated mascots to get through today. First is a little-known title named Fish and Chips, featuring the voice talents of that bird from Surf's Up and Sid from Ice Age as Fish and Chips respectively. Now from the cover art you'd expect this to be nothing more than a Tom and Jerry knockoff, running time 60 minutes tops. But this full-length feature is probably the craziest movie I've ever seen. Plot threads that go nowhere, plot lines that don't make sense, more filler than Dragon Ball Z, more bad jokes than a Cracker Factory, scenes that make no sense, scenes that are just weird, 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 weird. And beginning transmission. So we begin with this music, which I love. Not only because after more than 10 seconds it physically begins to hurt, but more because it's perfect as an underscore to people falling over. So straight off the bat you're presented with this barrage of information like any of these low-budget animated flicks, just utilising any bit of footage that isn't going to be used in the movie and repurposing it as an establishing shot. Why is this happening? Who are these people? What's going on?
What's up? My name's Chips. I'm a cat. I live in Brooklyn.
Ah, this is Brooklyn. Of course it is. So we get this bar scene where Chips explains that cats eat fish, and there's this one fish that he's got it out for who keeps slipping away. Oh no, sorry, that's way too easy. This isn't a Tom and Jerry plot. That would be obvious.
Oh, that fish had somehow evolved into a landling. It had developed lungs and paws and apparently a serious appetite. That's my great-great-great-great-gramps. I know he's a cutie, but don't get attached to him, because he's about to get eaten by that fish. Ugh.
So Chips explains that Fish thinks he can evolve into a landling as well, and Fish is going to do it with the help from a bone that he wears around his neck, which came from his ancestor who learned to be a landling. Now I hope you guys don't mind, but it's time for a quick lesson in evolution.
You see, in the early 1800s, a Frenchman named Jean-Baptiste Lamarck came up with the idea that living beings can pass on their traits to their offspring even if they got those traits during their lifetime. For instance, if a giraffe stretched its neck during its lifetime to get to higher and higher trees, he reckoned that its babies would have longer necks than it did, and if they continued to do that, the giraffes would get longer and longer necks over the generations. Then, in the mid-1800s, an Englishman by the name of Charles Darwin said that idea was entirely stupid and that the shorter-necked giraffes would just have died out as they found themselves unable to compete with taller giraffes when feeding. Natural selection. This theory was correct, Lamarckism was silly, and that was the end of that.
But in this movie... that. It seems to be preaching Lamarckism in that Fish's granddad learned to breathe on land during life, but it calls that process evolution, and Fish hasn't inherited it, but can do so with the help of his magic bone, and I am really analysing this children's movie. And if anyone wants to know any more about that, my new book, The Lore of Fish and Chips, is available to buy in all good hypothetical bookstores. Moving on, Chips' dad has said that Chips is disowned until he retrieves the bone from Fish and brings it back to him.
Away, unworthy son! You are disowned!
Know that feeling.
All around me are familiar faces.
Nothing like a nice oxygen bubble to help you breathe on land.
Hold on, what? They can breathe on land? The premise of this story was that Fish wanted to evolve to be on the land, but he can already breathe and walk on the land. What's the bone for? Why does he want to evolve? Who made this
Shivinu?
So Bruce from Nemo is established here as Fish's bodyguard. Now make sure you remember that, because it's not important and will never come up again. Also, he has a new bodyguard in about 10 minutes anyway.
Hey, that's Daddy's bone.
If he wants the bone, we'll have to give him the bone.
Well, I'd found the bone.
And you needed a plan.
Exactly.
Wait, what? That scene lasted less than 5 seconds. Look, I'll count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hate it! So Fish gets oxygen bubbles from Maureen the oyster, who wants Fish to take her to Corinne's new jacuzzi.
But Moraine, what if something happened to you?
Yeah, Maureen. What if something happens to you? What if you read this entire academic paper on the mortality of Pacific oysters, which states that 77% die at temperatures above 26 degrees Celsius, and that the average jacuzzi warms water to between 35 and 40? What then?
Don't start getting any ideas now.
Well,
Oysters in the jacuzzi.
Oh, God almighty!
God almighty.
The levee was dry, and them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing.
That's a good one! So what are we, not even 20 minutes in and already 2 cats are holding an oyster hostage in a jacuzzi above a restaurant where a catfish serves both fish and chips to cats and fish alike. Good. Good.
Hey, huh?
Was that porn? Is he looking at porn? In a kid's movie? Fish is trying to make another fishbone look the same as the one he wears to give to Chips so that he can free marine the oyster. Are you following this? Because I am not following this.
Wow, they're identical!
The operation was a resounding success, madam.
I'm ready for the trade-off.
So Fish gives him the bone and Chips takes it back to his dad, who recognises it as a fake because of the barcode. Just like to remind everybody we have nearly an hour left of this movie.
I love my job!
My daddy hates me! Oh, please, Fish! Give me the bone! There's gotta be something your father would like as much as my lovely...
What?
The bones of your cat ancestor, for example. The one who was eaten up by mine? Of course! Just find your ancestor's bones, then make a necklace for your dad. And Bob's your uncle. Then I can keep wearing my ancestor's bones around my neck and everybody's happy.
But what if I brought them to you?
If you were to bring them to me, I could maybe reconsider my position. Maybe then you could come on home.
Ha! That's all I wanted to know! Thanks, Father!
So you remember that plotline about Chips trying to get his ancestors' bones back? Well, forget that. No longer required. Now he's in love with a catfish. But now forget that, because it doesn't matter, because now we're in the Moonshiner's garage. But now it turns out that the Moonshiner is the submarine rental guy. I'm just rolling with it, because it doesn't matter, because they're back to cat and mouse tomorrow anyway. Yeah. Wait, no, what? No! No. That is literally a stock image of a piano. It's the second one on Google Images. It's the Yamaha C3X on my... I cannot do this anymore!
Right. I'm gonna find myself a sweetheart on the net. Romantic, cute, muscly, intelligent, earnest, hardworking, sincere, funny. Oh, and spiritual.
What?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm a catfish, so I can go to the fish forum and the cat forum.
Of course you can! Species divide? What species divide?
So, what name should I choose? Siren, that's a good one.
Oh, it's because she's a catfish. Oh. They lose the bone, they find the bone, they carry on fighting about the bone. The end.
What the shell?
Jacuzzi.
What's this? Kangaroo Jack. Could it be any worse? Well, f me dead. Grab yourselves a stubby, boys. We're in for a wild one. Fuck. This little known fever dream is brought to you by the same Jerry Bruckheimer who produced Top Gun, Armageddon, Pirates of the Caribbean, National Treasure, Black Hawk Down, Con Air, and... Wait, he produced G-Force?
What do you suggest I do?
Poop in his hand! Poop in his hand!
This is gonna be interesting.
Australia, the land down under. Rugged, remote, inhospitable and dangerous.
Ah yes, that certainly describes the entirety of Australia. Sydney Opera House, rugged, remote. Queen Victoria Market, inhospitable, dangerous.
But my story doesn't begin in Australia. It begins 20 years ago, halfway around the world. on a beach in Brooklyn.
Oh, it's Brooklyn. Of course it is. So this kid called Charlie Carbone is on a beach with his mum and... Whoa, what? Is that Christopher Walken? Walking on a beach? In Kangaroo Jack? Let's see where this goes. So Charlie's mum is chatting up Christopher Walken's character Sal Maggio, the top dog in the local mafia. Charlie meets a kid on the beach by the name of Louis Booker, who is trying to make money from metal detecting on the beach. Michael Shannon is also in this movie for some reason as Sal's protege, Frankie Lombardo, who throws a ball into the sea which Charlie stupidly follows even though he can't swim. Louis sees this and just watch. He's benching that kid. He's like the Hulk. 20 years later, Charlie and Louis are still friends, and Louis uses the fact that he saved Charlie's life as leverage to get what he wants.
Look, man, I need a favor. I just got this job delivering TVs, but my partner got sick. He had one of those microwave chimichangas, man.
Louis, why do all your stories start off this way?
Wait. All your stories start with microwave chimichangas? I mean, good.
So I'm supposed to know that a bunch of greyhounds were being used to smuggle diamonds?
Check out that woman's face. She is not impressed.
This is really important for me. I need your help.
Louis, I'm busy here. Can't you see I'm busy?
I was busy that day 20 years ago on the beach, too, man. But that stopped me from saving this skinny little white kid from failing in surf. No, Charlie, you know, I stopped what I was doing. I just grabbed my stuff and I jumped in and I saved this poor little white kid. Didn't nobody want to get out and save him, so I just jumped up and saved him myself. You too easy.
A few moments later.
Pull over to the curb.
Louis? What? Whose truck is this?
That I can't be certain of. It came with the TV.
Oh yeah, of course it did. I mean, every time I go to Mackie D's, I buy myself a Happy Meal, I open it up, and there's always a Mercedes E-Class in there.
This is a stolen vehicle.
Apparently, this is a stolen vehicle.
Oh my God.
Pull over to the curb. Pull over to the curb.
Sorry, I was led to believe that this kid was Superman, and now he's stealing trucks full of TVs. I mean, they paid for the soundtrack and everything. Oh no, the TVs! Okay, so the police cars, they went directly into each other. Why? So they accidentally lead the cops to Sal, now Charlie's stepdad's warehouse, where the police seize stolen goods ranging from cars to paintings. Christopher Walken sure knows how to diversify.
After the tragic death of your father, I married your mother, promising her that I would raise you as my own. You chose not to take the Maggio name. I did not complain. And when you wanted to go to beauty school, as boys who lose their fathers early in life often do.
I'm not touching that. You can't make me. Understandably, Sal is upset, and he tells Charlie and Louis they can redeem themselves by taking a brown envelope to a contract killer in Australia. They're not allowed to open the envelope, they just have to deliver it, and then they can come home. That sounds easy, right? That's because what they don't know is that Sal has made a deal with the contract killer to kill them, and the brown envelope is his payment. Christopher Walken's a mad genius. So they're on the plane in what I would consider to be the most uncomfortable scene I have ever sat through in my life. Look, here, have this on me.
Oh my God.
Someone's in here.
Hey, it's me, Charlie. Open up.
What?
Okay. What the? Hey, check this out. Hey, you're not supposed to open this. Hey, man, it's like 50 grand there. Oh my God.
Something doesn't smell right here. Look at it.
I know, I'm looking. I've never seen so much green in one little brown package.
And now it's in my hands. Oh, it slipped out.
Woo!
Here, help me scoop it up.
Oh, this is one big load.
What a mess.
I just want to roll around in it.
Hand me the rest of the pile.
Can I hold it?
No, dump it in the envelope.
Maybe we should just flush it.
We're not gonna flush it. I'm gonna put it in my pocket, leave this room, and take it to Australia.
Well, if you're gonna do that, give it here. Let me kiss it for good luck.
You're not gonna kiss it. It's bad enough you touched it.
Charlie, before you put it away, can I at least smell it?
Maybe later.
This is a poop joke that has run on so long that they had to bring in not one, but two disgusted observers. I timed it. This is nearly a full minute of poop joke. I want to say I wasn't expecting it.
We're living in the land down under. Oh, you better run. You better get covered. Oh.
I killed a kangaroo.
Well, that's it. He's dead.
That's all, folks.
So they try to pull the corpse to the side of the road. May I remind you, this is a kid's movie. And then Lewis thinks it's so hilarious he starts taking pictures of the kangaroo in various positions, naming it Jackie Legs after a guy he knows with a goatee who always wears sunglasses. He even puts his jacket, with the money in the pocket, on the dead kangaroo. Now I see where this is going.
What?
Look how tall he is.
No, I'm sorry. A kangaroo kicks at around
850 psi.
Not only are you not getting up, Charlie, but you may have broken ribs and ruptured internal organs. Now laugh it off, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Charlie! Charlie! What? The kangaroo got the money. He put the money in the jacket, and the jacket on the kangaroo, and now he hopping away.
So they chase after the kangaroo in the truck, and can I just say, the Australian car manufacturing industry doesn't get enough of a shout out. Obviously they failed to catch the kangaroo because this movie has nearly an hour left.
2 beers. Big beers.
The famous Aussie brand, Big Beer.
I'm gonna call Mr. Smith, let him know there's been a slight delay.
Yeah, you do that. Tell him also that the kangaroo has his 50 grand. I bet he'll love that. They meet a love interest wildlife foundation worker who is American for some reason.
They're called bilbies. They're almost extinct. In fact, it's up to these guys to repopulate the entire Devil's Marbles area.
Somebody's gonna be having fun tonight.
That's the plan.
Yeah, that is the plan. I'm gonna treat them to a nice candlelit dinner and let the magic happen. Who said romance was dead? Interspersed throughout the movie are these little clips of the kangaroo going through the pockets of Lewis's jacket as if they figured they couldn't really call the movie Kangaroo Jack if he's only had a few seconds of screen time. And there, well, the CGI is pretty good for the early 2000s, but... Back in the bar, what are they doing? Are they cheering this man for finishing a shot? And in what world are those big beers? That is an insult to Australia. I am outraged. Turns out this guy's the pilot of the plane that Lewis is going to hire to find the kangaroo.
First we hit it with a car, now you want to blow its head off?
No. This is a tranquilizer dart. It works in 3 stages. Stage 1, temporary blindness. Stage 2, partial paralysis. And stage 3, totally humane.
Somebody's going to get shot. Ain't going to be no Roo.
I couldn't help but notice that this is the Flying Dingo 4. What happened to the 1, 2, and 3? No matter what!
Oh. Hey! Say hello to my little friend!
So they get sent off into the desert. Charlie experiences a mirage. Charlie gropes a woman who he thinks is a mirage. Charlie hallucinates the kangaroo talking.
Love the jacket, Charlie. It's hard to get something that fits my shoulders.
Nice. Mr. Legs, if you could find your way clear to give me back my money.
Money? Oh, you mean that money?
Please, if Sal finds out...
If I find out what, Charlie? That you lost my money?
Christopher Walken's voice coming out of a CGI kangaroo. What, you think I'm going to keep going? After I've seen Christopher Walken as a mafia marsupial? I mean, what do you expect of the rest of this movie? Fart jokes, romance side plot, confrontation, redemption arc, the boys keep the 50 grand and start a hair product business using the Australian berries from the fart scene. Oh, and yet more proof that camels are the best getaway vehicle. Kangaroo Jack is a bad movie, but it made me chuckle. So it's fish and chips that is relegated from the bargain bin to the bin bin. Now I need to talk to you guys about something serious for a moment. Life. Life gets in the way of a lot of things. Charlie was working in his hair salon one day, life got in the way, and he was chasing a kangaroo for 50 grand the next. So don't let life get in the way of you watching. Give us a like, give us a subscription, and eat microwave chimichangas so that you too don't end up on a camel in a car chase with the mob. It's a real risk.